Have you sat down with yourself and asked whether you want to be happy or not? Whether you want to make a change or not, even though it's hard and difficult, even though it's going to be very treacherous road to travel, you still have the choice. All right, everyone, welcome to the Game Podcast. I'm your host, Aman, and this is probably my first time making a long form video podcast. I have done a bit of Spotify, played with it, uh, but this is me really uh, digging into the space of video podcasts on YouTube, and I can't wait. Today's topic is something that we all experience. But before I even dig deep into today's topic, I just want to quickly highlight what my podcast is going to talk about. My podcast is going to talk about everyday matters. My podcast will focus on things like psychology, spirituality, fitness, health, the digital kind of era that we live in, how much digitalization is impacting uh, people, everything in and out, everything way and beyond. I'm going to cover all of it. And hopefully, in the future, I have more collaborations with people and I'm able to have some really intellectual, really powerful conversations with people. And the aim is to enjoy these times together. Today's topic is from the book that I'm reading currently. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. Um, Highly recommended book, and I'm still midway. I've not finished it yet, and I'm still in the forming stages of how I would define this book. But what has been on my mind recently is a topic that I discovered in this book. And The author is talking to this person who's come for a counseling session, is talking to a philosopher, and they are feeling really hurt, and they don't seem to like themselves. They don't seem to like themselves, and the philosopher is trying to explain it to them why they are not able to like themselves. And the person is countering that by saying, oh well, this is wrong with my life, that is wrong with my life, this is what's happened, that's what's happened, and I can't seem to like myself. I can't seem to wrap my head around how I can love or like myself. And the author, the philosopher in the book, directly points out to what we all have experienced is feeling of inferior. And inferiority can be felt in many situations, uh, whether you are competing for a job, whether you are competing for a sport, whether you are playing a game, whether you are just walking on the street and you see someone who probably has a better build than you. It can happen at any time, at any moment. um, and that made me think a little bit about how at times, or oftentimes, I have compared myself, and I've compared myself with peers, with people, with whoever came in my life and whoever's been a part of my journey. Some or the other way, there has been a comparison, and I'm not going to be I want to be honest about it. And we all know comparison is a killer of joy. But getting back to what inferiority meant, in that person's eye, like, he was disliking himself. He was not able to even look himself in the mirror because he really hated the sight of him. And that made me wonder, like, there are probably so many people like that who do not like themselves, and what is the reason behind it all? The philosopher pointed that out to inferiority complex. The feeling of inferiority is felt by everyone, but inferiority complex is something very complex. And that made me wonder. I have had so many instances where during my childhood, and I've spoken to my parents about it, and they used to say, oh, you're having an inferiority complex. And I used to think, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm jealous? Does that mean they have something I don't possess? Or what exactly is inferiority complex? And the philosopher in this book has pointed out that inferiority complex is something that we do to make an excuse for the things we can't do. And I was like, what? So the philosopher pointed out. So let's say, for example, um, you you like someone, right? And you want to tell your feelings to that person that you like, but you can't gather the courage. You know, um, you can't gather the courage to go and tell and describe your feelings to them. So you say to yourself, well, I'm not good enough, those things are wrong, therefore I will not try, things are not going to play out, things are not going to work out, I'm not successful, look at them, they are successful. All these things, all these narratives we play in our head is a narrative made by us. We don't realize that, unfortunately, and there's very less people talking about it, um, among their peer groups or among their family groups or among, you know who's someone who's struggling with mental health and not liking themselves. There's a lot of podcasts that talk about, um, self-help, and there's so many books that talks about self-help, but it all boils down to the individual, whether they want to make that choice, whether they really want to make a change in their life. And that change is hard, let's face it. It's not easy to just tomorrow wake up and say, oh, I'm great, I'm doing amazing, I don't care what people think about me, I don't care what the world throws at me, I'm just gonna focus and stay focused, and I'm gonna like myself, I'm gonna love myself. See, those things are hard, those things take time, those things take courage. And the courage comes from your own behavior and actions. If you're taking your life in the wrong direction, you're not going to go in the right direction. And then when you say your life is not working out, that means there's something wrong you're doing. And by the way, life is a crazy thing, right? Like, you can't summarize life in just one sentence by saying, oh, well, I'm not successful, therefore life is bad. You can't do that, because there's so many good things that you don't even appreciate, that's making you feel so inferior about yourself, and everything else seems great. Or, people who have lives seem great, whereas you yourself see your life as the worst of all. I mean, gradually we develop those habits and those behaviors, and then we think, why is it wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why are things not working out? Why am I feeling this bad? Why do I not like myself? Why can't I see myself or face myself in the mirror? Have you sat down with yourself and asked whether you want to be happy or not? Whether you want to make a change or not, even though it's hard and difficult, even though it's going to be very treacherous road to travel, you still have the choice. I mean, I was looking at the stats of how many people become successful, or how many people see success as just money, fame, all the nitty gritty and all the superficial things. And the stats were staggering. 92% of the respondents of this survey, this was a survey done in the US where they brought in 5,000 individuals and they asked them a similar question, which is the same question, not a similar question. Would you describe success as fame and money? And then 92% of them said yes, out of 100. 92%, that's a crazy amount of number. I mean, obviously, the society isn't helping us to see the world from a different lens. We are asked to, study in school, then go to universities, then find a job which you probably, have to get so many rejections before you land a job. And what are we aiming towards? Like, how they don't teach us how to manage our money well. They don't teach us how to like ourselves first, how to become better people, and they're teaching us all sorts of things that we never even use. I don't want to really get into all of that right now, but the point being, we have a choice. We have a choice whether we want to be happy or not. And there's only one thing that comes to mind when I think about happiness. If someone really pisses me off and I can't think beyond my anger, then it is my wrong decision, not theirs. Because I can choose to whether respond or not respond. It's a hard thing to do. Like, this is not an easy thing to do. And liking yourself, waking up every day with full of life is not easy. But this is how we are meant to live. And this is how we feel fulfilled. And that gives us the fuel to keep going. So using the feeling of inferiority to push through and to power through and to grow and to strive and to work better and to become better is the aim. I think I've finished my goal for today. 20,000 steps, I guess. Yeah. So that's the aim. That's the goal we should strive towards, where you are feeling inferior to someone else. See that in a positive light. See that, okay, well, I understand I'm feeling this way, but I can get better. I can get better at my craft. I can do better. I can become better. That should be the mindset. You look at someone who's successful and you're like, oh, why am I not successful? Have we tried looking at what we already got and then work our way up? I mean, we as humans are not going to get satisfied by just buying ourselves a home or buying ourselves a car. No, it doesn't stop there. We just want to keep progressing, and that's about our evolution, and that's how the Creator made us. With so much of intellect, so much of courage, so much of love and compassion and beauty. So let's see ourselves in that beautiful light. Let's not forget how this life itself is a gift, and not feel bad thinking that other people have got it whereas you don't. Please appreciate what you already have and build from there. Thank you so much for listening. If you really like this episode, please comment, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and if you want to hear more about health, fitness, psychology, philosophy, please suggest some topics that you want me to cover, and I'm happy to talk more about them. Thank you. I'll see you back on the game. Adios, amigos.